Good evening everyone, welcome to the Haverhill Town Council Planning Committee. Before we start, I will read my script. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by the Town Council and where possible live streamed by YouTube. Please note that the recording device is sensitive and the live stream may be recorded by third parties. So do not say anything you do not want recorded. If necessary, I will direct all recording in the room and the live stream to be stopped, but generally I want to avoid doing that. So we will normally record everything except any item taken in closed session. Members of the public may also make their own recordings, but must follow our rules for doing so, including stopping recording when requested. Whilst we do not accept anonymous speaking at a public forum, members of the public who wish to speak but do not want their name published must please indicate this before saying your piece. Thank you. Agenda number 1, apologies for absence, please.
Yes, we've got Councillors Brown, Cox, Lucarini and Martin.
Thank you very much. Item 2, declarations of interest and request for dispensation. Anyone? Members? No? Okay. Item 3, minutes of the previous meeting. To approve minutes of the meeting held on the 3rd of December 2024. May I have a proposer and a seconder, please? Councillor Smith. Seconder, Councillor Andre. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Much. Thank you. Matters arising from those minutes. Page 136. Both Councillor Mason and Councillor Brown has brought this to the attention of Suffolk County Council, Essex District Council and West Suffolk Council. And this is about advertising boards on roundabouts. Councillor Burns.
Very quickly, I believe the McDonald's adverts on the bypass roundabout have now been removed.
Brilliant.
By Essex.
Brilliant. So they paid attention. So the others will as well.
Can I just say,
Councillor Mason.
Sorry, thank you. Because in the press, I supported Councillor Brown with his concerns about the roundabout, and I did see some concern from residents that we somehow seem to be anti-business. I've absolutely got I'd just like to say on the record, I've got absolutely no problem with there being advertising on the roundabouts. I think sponsoring a roundabout is a good idea to promote local businesses. I think the conversation was just about quantity, size, you know, and how many were on one particular roundabout. And I think the challenge for all of us councillors is to balance the needs of the community, the needs of local businesses, and also looking after our town and having something that we think is suitable. I think it is a more complex argument that was perhaps portrayed on in the paper and social media. For the record, Suffolk County Council, I've asked to actually see the contract with the company that manages the advertising on roundabouts. It's a third party, it's not Suffolk County Council, it's a third party. They've yet to show me that, because there must be guidance as to how big a sign you can put up. Otherwise there'd be nothing to stop them putting up a 40-foot billboard on a roundabout, which would be ridiculous of course. So there must be some sort of parameters, and I'm trying to find that out. I'll feedback when I do not know more.
Thank you very much. Any other people? Okay, thank you. 138, please. Comments? No. 139, please.
No, that's it.
That's it. Thank you very much. Item 5. Persimmon Homes. The discussion report and the email submitted by Isaac Jolly. Circulated prior to the meeting to address members' objections and concerns on planning application DC 24 1535 RM. Colin.
As you know, Persimmon asked if the council would withdraw their objections, as they felt that they had mitigated them, or at least resolved them. I contacted Charlotte and Penny at Planning, and they confirmed that they wouldn't. They felt that the lorry bit with the rigid thing was fine. They felt it was most certainly because they were already talking to this prospective occupant, and therefore already agreed what size vehicle would be delivering. So they were content with that. And in terms of the concern about odours, etc., getting into the flats from hot food takeaway below on the shopping area, the applicant has amended the application to remove hot food takeaway, so there's now no requirement for the kind of extraction, etc., that might arise with noise and odours. So they felt that objection had been met as well. The main concern that Mr. Jolly had regarding the objection was that it was his misunderstanding, that he thought that meant that it would go to development control and would go to development control for quite some time. I challenged that because, well, surely it'll just go to delegation panel, and if the planners are satisfied, then it will go to delegated authority. Charlotte confirmed that was the case, and the delegation committee is happening in January, and Persimmon are expecting it to go to delegation panel anyway, whether or not we remove the objection. But there's always a possibility that it wouldn't need to go to delegation panel. It's whether or not the fortnight after Christmas is really worth worrying about. So to sum up, obviously the planners have to write their report, but from what they told me, it seemed pretty clear that they were satisfied that the objections wouldn't be upheld because they had been responded to in a way that satisfied the planners. Whether or not we remove our objection probably won't have any material effect on the timing, but it might be seen as a goodwill gesture by Persimmon if you feel they need one.
Okay, any comments? Right, Councillor Mason, then Councillor Andre, and then Councillor Dave Smith.
Thank you, Chair. My personal feelings is I'd like the committee to consider lifting the objection. I have no problems if there are still concerns, and whether you want to list those maybe as conditions that mitigate some of those concerns, so they're still on record, those concerns that you might have. I'm satisfied that the Highway Authority would be signing this off, that the occupier of the supermarket knows what the limitations are in terms of vehicles going in, and that's part of the condition of their tenancy. The removal of the hot food is good news, and of course any hot food wanting to go in there would then require a further planning application, which then the town council, if wanted to, could object to that. I'm actually quite excited about the local centre. I want it started sooner rather than later. Their talk was today of them wanting to get started on it in August of 2025. They don't want any particular delays. If the committee sees fit to still want to hold an objection, I don't necessarily feel that would necessarily delay it further. I think we're talking weeks, not months. For me, it's a shame that Isaac Jolly didn't provide this additional information earlier. I think for big developments like this, it's a shame they weren't here in person to actually answer some of those questions and possibly allay some of those fears. Although I'm not a sitting member of this committee, I would ask the council in this instance to lift as an act of goodwill the decision to object to these matters. Thank you.
Councillor Andre?
Thank you, Chair. Our vehicles and tracking circles have been addressed. I don't believe there is a condition that can be imposed or enforced that will prevent articulated lorries delivering. Their solution relies on there being only rigid vehicles. Our experience with all the shops of various sizes throughout Haverhill is that there will be articulated deliveries. I don't think we're going to be able to stop it from a planning position, and I don't think they're going to be able to stop it by putting conditions on the tenancy. So I'm not persuaded that the objection about returning the access has been properly addressed.
Thank you very much. Councillor Smith?
Yeah, I think most of the issues have been mitigated, but there are still some small concerns. I think because of that we should keep the objection in. As has been said, it's not really going to delay it, and what it means is that it will get proper scrutiny at the planning department. That's what we want.
The docs are on there if you want to see them.
Is there any other people want to say anything?
Docs are
All members, I should say.
Docs are
All
available
members.
if you want to watch them, see them.
The documents?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to see the documents of the turning circle?
Okay.
No?
Fine.
Okay.
No,
Right. Okay, can we have a proposal then that we keep the objection, especially for the turning circle, with articulated lorries? Okay, Councillor Andre, can I have a seconder please? Councillor Smith, all those in favour please show. 1, 2, 3. Any against?
That was only
You're free
three.
to do.
That's unanimous.
It's unanimous, right?
Chair, yeah, you've only got 3 members of your planning committee.
Oh, right. Sorry, I can't give up.
Can I add something more? Because we had another meeting with Persimmon today.
Right, okay.
The only people there were Councillor Burns, myself and Vicky. They talked about the next phase. We made the point that if they are unhappy with the fact that you objected to the previous application, then Vicky did tell them they should attend the meeting, and we've repeated that and we put it in writing to them that, you know, if you don't come to the meetings, you don't get a chance to say you're there.
Yeah.
And so they've been told that very firmly, because I think they could have probably at least had it if they'd been there to assuage concerns of councillors.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that was said at the last meeting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, item 6, for members of the public to speak on planning matters other than applications before the committee. No?
No, Chair.
Thank you. Item 7, to consider planning applications to West Suffolk Council. I will invite members of the public who wish to speak to address the committee in relation to a planning application to speak ahead of the committee considering each application in turn. Application 1, which is DC 24 1181 P3MPA. This is a re-consultation, prior approval application under Part 3 of the Town and Country Planning, in brackets General Permitted Development, Order 2015, change of use from commercial, business and service, which is Class E in brackets, of upper floor to a dwelling, Class C3, to create one residential unit, and this is for District 7 Estates Limited, and this is in 49 High Street. Is there any comments on this at all from members of the public? Application 1? No?
No, Chair.
No, thank you. Members, have you got any comments on this one at all? I've got, before I come to you, that I've got, other than parking, I still object to the same, for the same reasons as last stated by the Town Council Planning Committee. Is there any other comments on that at all? Councillor Andre, then Councillor Smith, Dave Smith.
Just to say that the parking element appears to have been addressed since we last discussed this, but the whole idea of using a stock room as a residential accommodation hasn't been covered at all. We were clearly concerned about that, partly because of fire escape issues, but I know there's a resident that's also raised those concerns, and the issues about delivering to the shops. This is an entirely inappropriate design in an inappropriate place. Our objections previously, apart from the parking, still remain.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and it's below minimum size standard as well, the room. Councillor Dave Smith.
No, I don't think I've actually got anything more to add, sorry, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, I propose that we still hold that objection, even though we agree that the parking situation has been resolved, but for the other reasons that we said, as well as the minimum size standard, I don't think we said that, but I'd like to add that if we didn't. I propose that. Anyone second it? Councillor Andre, all those in favour, please show. Yeah, that's unanimous as well. Application 2, DC 24 1182 P3CM. This is reconsultation, prior approval application under Part 3 of the Town and Country Planning and General Permitted Development in brackets, Order 2015, change of use from commercial, business and service. This is 6 Jubilee Walk. And this again, I've got other than parking, which they resolved. I still object for the same reason as last stated by the Town Council Planning Committee. And can I add to the Planning Committee last objection, all 3 units are below the very small 37 square metres with a shower minimum size standard. So even the very smallest minimum size standard is still below that. Right, is there any comments on that one at all? Yeah, Councillor Andre?
Comments are much the same as the previous one. The parking issue appears to be addressed, although thinly, but the general provision of 3 dwellings in that small space is clearly inappropriate. It doesn't meet minimum space standards.
Okay. Any other comments at all? Anyone? No? Okay. I'd like to propose again that we object and add the minimum size standards for all 3 units with the 37 square, below the 37 square metres with a shower. Any seconders to that? Councillor Andre? All those in favour, please show. Yeah, it's unanimous. Thank you very much. Application 3, DC 24 1736 H8, single storey side and rear extension, including relocation of front door. And this is for Sophie Smith, 18 Howes Barn Road. And this is being converted from a 3 to a 4 bedroom. My comments on this is with no street parking and very limited parking spaces, even for the other householders, this really is just, well, it's just too big for the area that it's meant for, because it's very small roads, you can't park on the street because they're so small and bendy. Right, is there any other comments on this one at all? Councillor Dave Smith?
Yeah, we'll look at the block plan. That's it, thanks. Just wanted to get that. Yeah, just wanted to see how much of the actual plot is taken up, which is a fair proportion.
Yeah, because it is a very small plot and the roads, you know, the roads look bigger on there, but they're not. They're very tiny little roads. They're very difficult to, if you've got an expansion, and the houses are very tight together as well. There is, I looked on Google Maps, and I don't know when that's taken, but there's loads of cars all over the place there. Councillor Burns.
I was only going to say, of course, this estate was built on the principle of maximum parking, not minimum parking. This was before the county council changed their stupid plans they had a few years back, where I think for a 3-bedroom house, it was never more than about 1 parking space. So anything extra, you know, affects it. So that's just a comment.
Yeah, it's really is a bad estate for cars. Really is. I don't know if anyone's been up there lately, but it really is a. And I object on the car parking situation on that one. I'd like to propose that, unless anyone else got anything, comments on that at all? No? Can I have a seconder for that? Yeah? Councillor Dave Smith. All those in favour, please show. Yeah, that's carried. Thank you very much. Application 4, and this is DC 24-1586 HH. Reconsultation, amended plans received, single-storey rear extension following demolition of existing conservatory. And this is Mr. and Mrs. Rob Izzard. This is extension of a lounge dining room by 1 metre to boundary fence to the November application. Any comments at all, Councillor Andre?
We had no objection before, I still have no objection. I'm not too clear why it's been solicited.
I think it's because that extra bit's been added, that 1 metre has been added.
In principle,
Compared to
it's
that one.
exactly as it was, just a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's made it better.
I propose to do it.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favour, please show. Right. Okay, thank you. Back to the agenda. And this is item 8, to consider street trading licence. We haven't got anything on that, have we? No. Item 9, matters to report, to enable members to exchange any urgent planning matters. Any matters? No? Yeah, we've got a very late item. I can just get the... Yeah. Did you receive an email from Vicky this afternoon?
From who?
Was it this morning?
I got it earlier in the week as a ward council.
Yeah, it's just about the appeal being dismissed.
Yeah, the Rose Barn was it called? Along the Burton end, the one where they wanted to build bungalows in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
It was supposed to appeal and it got rejected.
Yeah.
It was just a no.
Yeah, it's just a no. Yeah. Right, okay, thank you very much. Date of next meeting, which is the 13th of January. May I wish everyone a very happy Christmas and a merry good year. I've twisted that round to make a difference.
Time?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time of closure.
The time is 27 minutes. No, yeah, 27 minutes. Right, so.